first up, who can actually see astrology clients? So as of this recording, there are no official trainings required to work with astrology clients and be a professional in this field. On one hand, I see this as a great thing, as there's a low barrier to entry. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars that you may or may not have on a fancy degree, but it also means that there's no true standardized way of vetting professionals to work with. So therefore, independent study and or certifications from other teachers and astrology professionals becomes the traditional pathway to becoming a professional in this space. For example, I came into astrology through reading horoscopes in the back of magazines in middle school. And by high school, I was Googling compatibility between charts of my crushes and I in the library. That is a true memory. And post-college, I finally began studying astrology seriously. So in addition to about 15 years of reading horoscopes and understanding astrology through really just my lived experience, I spent the next 2 years just prior to the time I started giving paid readings in deep, or what I would call serious study, where I was taking courses with a ton of different reputable astrologers and practicing giving readings to friends and family before I decided I was ready to charge and opened an LLC and did all of those like official business things. So, as you probably know by this point, astrology practitioners vary greatly. I have friends and colleagues that took immersive, very serious programs of study with one astrologer over several years, rather than the cobbled together, more independent route that I ultimately took. But neither is right or wrong. Overarchingly, I believe that if you're wanting to read charts professionally, you're intuitive enough to know when you're ready and ready to charge people and have official clients. Finally, I've included the ESAR Ethical Standards and Guidelines link, which I do highly recommend looking up, whether you're an ESAR member or not. While there isn't a single governing body, as I said, that professional astrologers have to really look to, I am a member of ESAR and I've found this guide to be a really great tool. So you'll see a couple screenshots from that website here to get an idea of what it outlines. Okay, a quick note on readings versus consultations. Some astrologers object from using the word readings in favor of consultations because a consultation insinuates more of a back and forth involvement between practitioner and client. Some believe that a reading might kind of evoke the idea that it's more one-sided, like going to see a psychic or something. In my opinion, this is another discrepancy of personal preference. I have always called occult time with me a reading because, frankly, that's the more popular term. But when I meet with a client live, they are very much in a conversation with me and they have space to ask questions and engage with the material. However, I have sent clients information exclusively over email because it's what they preferred, which of course did involve less conversing between us and did feel more to me like kind of telling them about their chart. And that might be something a person using the term consultation would never do in their practice. Consultation, people that only use the word consultation really prioritize that dialogue between, again, practitioner and client. So moving forward, I'll just use the term reading, but please know, again, this is not dictated by anyone except for you. So use the word that you're comfortable with and that makes the most sense with your practice.